Of course.
Already?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
That's all I've been doing is watching my kids' home videos of my kids when we ski, because I miss it so much, and that's where my mind is right now. I'm up on the slopes.
Ah, really?
Yep.
Even before Labor Day? Isn't it sort of like, wearing white?
Nope.
No, but only because I said we've had I think a hotter than usual summer.
Definitely.
Consistently through the last few months.
Oh, it's been a very, very warm summer.
And I'm not walking around wearing my ski gear at this point either. I'm not doing that. I'm just dreaming about it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. That would be too much information.
Well, anyway, this is Tina Traster of the Rockland County Business Journal, an online publication. What have you got for us?
Good morning, Rockland County, on this beautiful day. Let's see. Well, I've been thinking about Congress's inertia and leaving people kind of in this state of limbo in terms of the unemployment benefits, and how it's going. We published a story this morning about the vulnerability of the retailers in Nanuet, and we looked at what has already, just to give it perspective, what has already been shuttered. So Macy's, Sears, Toys R Us, Pier 1, I think even Destination Maternity, AC Moore prior to the pandemic. Add to that Jose Bank, Office Depot, GNC, Victoria's Secret, Express. I mean, and not to mention the Fairway Market, which is almost ironic considering how that supermarkets are actually thriving in this pandemic situation. And we all we know that the Sur La Table, and Modell's have already announced closures. This is Nanuet. It's an extraordinary amount of retail to try to take in, at one time, and think about what's been lost in such a short space of time. I don't believe that At Home has actually opened, even though they've built out the first floor of the Macy's site, and. We know that there are other retailers in the Nanuet corridor that are in trouble. 24-Hour Fitness is in trouble. Even Dunkin' Donuts is in trouble. But we did publish a list of stores that are on the so-called watch list. That are also closing stores left and right. And the following stores that I'm going to mention all still have a presence in Nanuet at the moment. The first is Bed Bath & Beyond, which we know has closed down at the Palisades Center, still has its Route 59, it's not actually on Route 59, it's in the shopping center up by Target. So that store is planning to close 260 stores. GameStop, same up that way, planning on closing 320 stores. Even AT&T, even the phone store, planning on closing 250 locations. Chico's planning on closing 250 locations. The Gap, we know they've defaulted. They're closing up to 230 locations, and Bath and Body Works, another 50 locations. So this is just another half a dozen retailers that are going to. Now, it's not to say that the ones that I've just read out, it's not to say that those specifically will close in Nanuet, but what it does say is I guess the reflection here is the vulnerability of having such a strong retail nexus that we as taxpayers are so dependent on, when those retailers all essentially come from this homogenous culture, of big box retailing, and how vulnerable that retailing is. We're watching, for example, what's it called, Shake Shack be built right now, and
They're making progress.
they're building out, but the company as a whole, same store sales fell almost 50% for the quarter ending June 24th. And what that outfit is doing, and I don't think that they're going to be able to do it in Nanuet, because I took a drive by there yesterday, and it seems like that site is already being built out in the way that it is ready, the way it had planned. But what the company is doing right now is that they're creating these pickup windows. They're saying that they're retrofitting existing stores and incorporating this into many new locations, because they recognize that you need a new business model. So how nimble, is a Shake Shack? How nimble is I think the one that's going next door to that is Chipotle, right? How nimble are these stores to adapt to this new normal that we're heading into, that we're living in? Not to mention, who knows what's going to happen when the schools reopen, and I think we've been pretty obedient here in New York. That's my impression of being out and about, is that we're really being smart with mask wearing, and we've been able to contain the virus here. But schools, we're going to be thrown into yet.
That's going to be the litmus test.
I think it's actually going to be very frightening. So just, overall, just looking at Nanuet in particular, as a place that, as a section of this county that's already been pretty hard hit, and we're going to have to keep an eye on this. Can we pivot enough to? Is there a demand to pivot to the so-called uses that we're going to save? Some of these retailers: entertainment, hotel, convention, and housing. Those were kind of the buzzwords floating around. This is what remains, I think, to be seen. I would say keep an eye on all of this. We will do that, of course. We're tracking these retailers, but as a community as a whole, we need to be. I think that Clarkstown, because most of this is basically centered in Clarkstown, probably should really be out front on thinking about some possible ways to reinvent that retail corridor for a day that might look very different. So that's the canary in the mine shaft warning for this morning.
So will that be in your, as we speak now, is that in your publication, basically a synopsis of what you just said?
Yes, that whole list and kind of the explanation of all of that is in rcbizjournal.com, and I'm going to just give a shout out to two other stories that people might want to take a look at. Mm-hmm. So one is a story about a company that made it to the Inc. 5000 list as one of the top growing companies, private companies, fastest growing companies in the country. And Sean McGee is the owner of a company called Anchor Trading. So take a look at that story. Kind of interesting that Rockland County has made it onto, a company in Rockland County has made it onto that list. Kudos to Sean McGee. We have a good story about him. And if anybody didn't see the story last week, we've also learned that the religious order is selling the the storied English Gothic manse in Sloatsburg, the Sisters Servants of Mary Immaculate Congregation. I don't know if people know about that, but It's an extraordinary property, and it's just another large property that people should keep on their radar to see what happens with that. It's basically a 40,000 square foot mansion on 40 acres.
Wow.
Selling for about 20 million. So, interesting week last week. Variety of news going on here in the county. Check it out.
All right, Rockland. That's RCBiz, like in BIZ, journal.com.
You got it.
All right, thank you very much. Tina Traster
right.
here at WRCR with Steve Posel, Jeff Lewis. We'll be back at you tomorrow morning.